Welcome to Far Cry 6, where my name is Jared, aka Bambi, and I'm going to lead you through what I love and I hate about Far Cry 6. So, to kind of start off with, I'll just give you the quick TLDR. There's new stuff, there's old stuff, there's remembering stuff, there's nostalgia, and the game is what it is. It's a B+, A- sort of game. Now, what I like about the game to kind of start off with is that you get to choose your character. You get to be a male or female. I like that you get to actually pick who the protagonist is in this game versus just kind of going with, oh, you're, a rich kid on an island, or you're this, you're that. I like the fact that they give you an option. One of the other things that I don't like about in the game is the mix of Spanish and English. Now, if you're going to make a game that is centered around a place where I'm assuming it's kind of, Haiti or what have you, or it's some Spanish-speaking place, speak all Spanish and give me subtitles. If you're going to do American, go ahead and keep the accent. Keep the accent where I can definitely tell that you're from a Spanish-speaking country, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't like having to be able to listen to half of it, look down on the subtitles, and then try to understand what they're saying. I know it's really petty. I know it's probably a dumb argument, but I'm of the mindset that it's all or none. You either go full Spanish with all subtitles, which I would be more than happy to play the game like that, or just give me all American with the accent, and then just continue from there. I just find it a little ridiculous that that they use half Spanish. They curse in Spanish. I don't know if they get around it or what that whole sort of thing is, but it's weird because they drop the F-bombs a bunch of times. But back to what I love. As you can see here, I take this out and nobody sees me, nobody really notices me, I don't get caught. The stealth in this game is absolutely fantastic. I like that some of the bases you can't capture, but some of you capture these checkpoints, and these checkpoints are pretty much hotspots for enemy fights. So the whole capturing bases and checkpoints are a little bit differently. Flying on a mouse and keyboard, I think it's just because I'm flying on a mouse and keyboard and it's ridiculously weird. So that's kind of weird. I don't like the perk system that they use. The perk system is now more or less now your clothing. I just think it's weird that the different kinds of clothing you have, the different perks that you get, they seem very passive and very soft, if you will. Like they're not like hard. Like it isn't like this is awesome sauce or anything like that. And as you can see there, you choose the different clothes that you look. I was playing with Natalie, and I have to agree with Natalie. I also don't like how the clothes, they just look like they're garbage. Like, there's nothing that looks good. Like, you really have to kind of mix and match and just kind of go, this looks the best. And sometimes when you look the best, it doesn't, have the perks that you really want, so it's kind of weird. They brought back the Eagles, which I thought was pretty dope. I had some troubles killing the Eagles. I also had trouble killing the helicopters until I got an RPG as well as an EMP device. The backpack thing that you get is pretty cool too. It's called the Supremo. The Supremo is pretty interesting. One thing that I thought was really dumb, maybe it was a random encounter, but Ubisoft Plus was like, hey, you got to locate your game, so I had to manually find my game for Ubisoft Plus. As you can see, there are all of my stats: 17 hours, 836 kills, and I'm 35% through the game. The suppressors were weird. That's all I'm going to say. The suppressors are weird. I don't like what they did with the suppressors. I don't like what they ended up doing with the suppressors, because there's a video in the upper right hand corner now that you can actually check out what happens when a suppressor fails. Mind you, it's with a 249, but if you're going to stress test a suppressor, you might as well stress test a suppressor with a fully automatic weapon. Even though 5.56 is considered kind of a bitch round, I still think that I still think that, it's a little bit more intrusive. Like, I think that they're using the decay of a suppressor to make the game a little bit harder. Spoiler alert, that is Boomer from Far Cry 5. He was shipped to Yura, where you are for some odd reason, and your character is like, hey, I found a dog, and the dude who gives you guns and stuff is like, oh, you need to give him a name, and you're like, okay, Boom Boom. So I thought that was kind of appropriate. I kind of wish they would have given him a different name, or maybe been like, oh, I'll call you Boomer, or whatever. I don't know. I think there could have been a little bit different way that you did it. Bullet velocity. This game does have bullet drop. As you can see here, the bullet lands slightly lower, like I'm a mil dot and a half low. You know, on the SVD versus what I think is the Remington 700 or something like that. I just think that if you're going to be using a sniper rifle, be mindful of the what's it called, of the velocity of the weapon, because that affects the bullet drop. The Remington 700 is a little bit, it's about 75% of velocity, whereas the SVD is about 50%, and there is a significant bullet drop on that. So overall, like I said, I give the game an A minus B plus. As you can see here, Guapo's got some colors. You can actually change out and swap out a lot of the colors on your animals. I think the overall feel of the game with everything that's in there is nice. There's new things, there's old things, there's a lot of things. I mean, I could probably make a 45-minute to an hour video kind of covering all the different nuances that I found in my 17 hours of gameplay. So I think that it's just interesting. The game is, I like the fact that they took the game from where it was, changed up a couple things and added a couple things. Like they animate waves, like you can see in the distance, they animate waves. You saw on the tiger there, if you back it up just a little bit, like he went a little half into the water, so he's only half dirty. There's just so many different things that little adjustments that they made in the game that is just phenomenal and outstanding to me. I think that it is a new and improved, like I like how they kind of copy pasted Far Cry 5, but then made some quality of life adjustments, made some new games adjustments, so that it wasn't just that copy paste. I think the base game maybe was copy pasted, but they made a lot of quality of life adjustments. So to me, Far Cry 6 is a very updated and slightly addressed version of Far Cry 5. So if you like the Far Cry series, I highly encourage you to get the Far Cry 6, because Far Cry 6 is there. Yeah, Pete is going to be a little pissed off about that, but whatever. It's a wild horse that was painted to look like a zebra. So anyways, it gets my thumbs up. It gets my 2 thumbs up approval. It definitely gets my approval for the continued gameplay. I would highly encourage you to get Far Cry 6, or even just get the Ubisoft Plus pass just to roll with the game for even a month, just to give it a go. You know, $15 to try a game for 1 month isn't too bad. So it gets my stamp of approval. This is going to be a game that I guarantee you I'm going to be playing in the future. So again, I would highly encourage you to get Far Cry 6. I hope you like this semi-shortish version. I like to try to keep a lot of my videos under 10 minutes because I know my attention span is short, and so is yours. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great one. And again, I encourage you to get the game. I love your guys' faces. Have a good one.